Hi guys, it's Miranda, and in this video I will be sharing my thoughts on Season 3, Episode 2 of High School Musical, the musical, the series. It is titled Into the Unknown, which they are putting on Frozen, which is super exciting. I really do love Frozen, the first movie. Not a super fan of the second movie, but I love the music in both. The play that they're putting on at the camp is going to be televised through a documentary series that they're going to put on Disney Plus, which is super funny. I found that really funny that they put that in there. Super just connecting the two, connecting the show within the show, and it's just kind of funny. The comment they made that I also thought was super funny, it's in the beginning of the first scene of this episode, where Gina's like, maybe they'll title it High School Musical, the musical, the series, or something like that. And EJ's like, no, that's way too long of a title. It's just so funny. So in the first scene, we have EJ and Ricky on the porch, and they're talking, and Gina basically and him are talking about how he's directing, and it's just a lot of pressure, and Gina's being really supportive. What I found really interesting, and what's gonna happen, because in this scene,
do you really break each other?
Well, when are you gonna tell everyone you're directing the show?
Soon. I have options. Will you not say anything until then?
Gina just totally deflects and basically acts like she didn't even hear it. She totally, I know for a fact, pretty much 99% sure that she still likes Ricky in some way, so that's interesting. The next scene I really liked. It was probably one of my favorite, it is one of my favorite scenes in this episode. We have Ricky and Carlos.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about it?
Not even a little.
Me neither. I was just being polite. Can't just Zephron who you audition this time.
I'm not gonna Zephron. Fine. I'll learn the two guys' names. One is, let's say, Gary.
None of them are Gary. There are no Garys. It's freaking Norway, Ricky.
I'm kidding. I know their names. I've seen the 2013 smash hit movie Frozen.
I also would like to add that I like that Carlos he's getting a lot of screen time, but also it's short amounts in each scene, but he's getting to be with almost every single character in this cast. Even just in episodes 1 and 2, we see one-on-one scenes a lot with Carlos and someone else. I'm just really excited to see more of Carlos and him giving advice and being super funny, and also seeing Courtney and Carlos that dynamic and them being super funny together. Basically, I also liked that Carlos is giving Ricky kind of tough love, you can't just Zephron your way through this audition this time, which is kind of what he did is what he did in season 1, and not really knowing anything about it, the movie High School Musical, and he doesn't know anything about Frozen, and I just really liked this scene. Next, we have the audition scenes, mashup of Frozen songs that they did. I really enjoyed it. It was super fun, and it reminded me a lot of season 2 when they did a mashup of Beauty and the Beast songs, and that was one of my favorite songs in season 2, and I feel like this is going to be one of my favorites as well in season 3. Well, it's only been 2 episodes, and this is my favorite so far. The standouts for me in that song were Ashlyn, which is Julia Lester. The parts she did were so amazing. Her voice is so good. And also Courtney, who is played by Dara Renee. They both just have such outstanding voices. All the cast is really good, but they just are they really hit home with the theatrical songs, because they have a theatrical strong, powerful voice, and I just really love that. Yeah, and also another standout, which I don't even know her name, and maybe I'll look it up later, but I think she's an extra and has been an extra since the beginning. She was in the purple dress. She is so good. Like, she only had like one little part in that song, like one little line, like a very, very small line, but man, her voice is good. Remind me a lot of Courtney's, but just like a little different tone, obviously, and super beautiful. I loved that they showed a scene. It was like, what do you call it? Like fast forward, so it's like faster. They showed everyone like bowing and like going off the stage, and I just really liked that. Like at the end of the song, I really liked how it was put together and like edited and everything. Super awesome. One of my favorite parts of the episode. In the audition scenes in this episode, we do get a lot of like mysterious glances, glancing at other characters across the room, and like their facial expressions are saying a lot but also not saying a lot, so we're not sure like where they stand. A lot of glances and like facial expression from the character Maddox, I think that's how you say it, and then they call her Gadget sometimes. So far I don't really like Maddox, the character. I find her annoying, but they did touch on in this episode, like because it's like a documentary series, so Maddox is talking like, yeah, I'm acquired taste, like, because I'm like a lot, and I just like am very like stubborn like in my ways and like how I like things, and you can see that like in just even the first episode, like she's just like, no, I got it, like she doesn't let anyone help her, and she's just very like to herself and like kind of perfectionist.
Hey, Maddox. I wanted to offer my services in hair and makeup. I'll be auditioning too, but back at each time, got it covered. Oh, you don't want any help? I mean, teamwork makes the dream work, right? Well, I've always done it myself. It ain't broke, don't fix it, right? We can go back and forth with breaks like this all day.
But I feel like there's more to her than that. Like, she's not trying to be mean, I guess. I don't really know. So that's one thing that I like about her. Like, probably the only thing is that like she's mysterious and I don't know much about her yet. And I like to like try to figure it out or like see where the character goes. And boy, does he have a voice. He comes into auditions late, and I forget what song he sings. Is it Into the End? Oh, what is it? A really popular Frozen song. Oh my gosh. But it was so good. I really liked how Ashlyn, she goes to the piano like while he's singing the song and like helps him out, and I just really liked that. And I really love Ashlyn. She's a really cool character. I always have liked her from the beginning, and hopefully we'll get to see more of her, because we haven't really, I mean, we saw her in episode 1. She talked some, and then she's talking a little bit more in episode 2, but not as much as like usual. I am really bummed. I know I mentioned this earlier in my other videos, but I am bummed that Big Red isn't in this, and like seeing their relationship, Ashlyn and Big Red. I really do miss that, because one of the reasons why I liked those two characters was them together. I feel like they were strong together. So yeah, but I am curious to see like Ashlyn on her own, and still seeing her like similar like traits from season 2 and 1, but also like her coming into her own still, and having other scenes with other characters. I feel like would be really interesting. So hopefully we'll get to see a lot more of her. I also would like to point out that I liked Ashlyn's kind of like obsession with Corbin Bleu. Not kind of, she's obsessed with Corbin Bleu, and as we know, Corbin Bleu is going to be at camp a lot because he is going to be directing the documentary series that's going along with the play they're putting on, and they're going to put it on Disney Plus, which is hilarious again, because it's like all connected and it's funny. Yeah, so she's like super obsessed with Corbin Bleu and like super excited that he's like directing the play, but he really isn't, because we know that EJ is, and so that's a big shock to her. And I just really like her little comments about that. Like, that's honestly how I would feel if I was in high school and I was at that camp. I'd feel the same way and say the exact same things, and especially being a high schooler, like I I wouldn't do that now. I'm older and I know that he's like married and everything. So yeah, when I was in high school, he wasn't married, I don't think. So it was appropriate then. But I would definitely be like Ashland if I was in her position. So I found that really funny and relatable. During the audition scenes, we have Maddox and Gina talking, and Gina sees the character Val for the first time interact with EJ.
That's Val, a time Shallow Lake camper and current Shallow Lake CIT. Yeah, she and EJ go way back.
Yeah, they seem close.
Oh, yeah, they were Gretel and Kurt together in The Sound of Music way back in the day. That kind of bond is forever.
When Gina's hearing this, she's like, oh, and like she's clearly like sad and everything, and then Maddox just keeps like rubbing in her face, basically like, yeah, that bond's forever, like they're so close. Like, she's just so annoying. Like, no wonder you have no friends. Like, you're not considering anyone's feelings. So yeah, poor Gina. And hopefully, I don't think EJ likes Val. I really don't. I think he just likes being at camp, and he just likes camp in general and like the memories made and stuff. I don't think he really like likes her. I think they're just like really close friends. In the next scene, we see that Gina might